unless he promises to be a nice guy.
I am being a nice guy. I'm just waiting on you to get your shit together. That's all.
Really? Well, once again, I tell you, if you want to come over here and do the engineering, have at it. Until then, shut your hole.
Just saying.
You don't know what the hell you're talking about. So with that, we will start the show. Welcome into the Rob and Comrade Show, the podcast that divides the Palmetto State. I am Rob Sanders, your host. I represent the Clemson Tigers. We stomp Gamecock ass. We also are playing for the national championship tomorrow night as we square off with the fake Tigers, with the fake Death Valley, the ones that use the fake Tiger rag. They have a coach that's an asshole, but he's going to join us on the show tonight. Of course, that would be the Clemson Tigers. I do have two co-hosts. We'll start with the Dirty Russian. He wants to blame everything on me. He has no common sense. He is Vladimir Putin's water boy. He's also the head of the Please God, Save My Boyfriend, Will Muschamp Society. He is the comrade, Mike Dobreski. Mike, good evening, sir.
It is great to be here. Don Staley has the ladies ready to take over number one spot in the country. When the polls come out tomorrow, they should be number one in the country. It's great to have the number one team in the country. Not many of us can say that. Maybe you can say it tomorrow night. We'll see. But it's great to be kind of Don Staley taking over and elite coach, elite program. That's all I can say right now. Because everything else sucks in Gamecock land. But hey.
Yeah. Well, that's typical. I have another co-host for the show. He sent me a message earlier. I want to make sure I'm reading it correctly because we'll get into it. But he says, I want to make sure that we address the fact the Gamecock administration is settled with fucking mediocrity. He is the king of the upstate, the bald man on the podcast. Sometimes he rages, but he's really just a teddy bear. He is Cale Hall.
A good evening.
I can just listen to this music, Cale. This music makes me happy. It brings me back to my childhood.
That music makes me puts goose bumps on my back.
It does. Well, Cale, once again, thanks for joining us this evening. And yeah, so we have good stuff to go into tonight. An interview with Coach O later on. We also have our national championship preview, and Cale wants to address the fact the Gamecock administration is settled with mediocrity. Clemson ended their streak over the weekend at North Carolina.
Who called that, by the way, about 2 weeks ago? Who called it?
Cale did.
I called it before Cale was a regular member of the show. When the Tar Heels lost, it's probably about 3 weeks ago.
Cale started this show, and then I took it over, and then.
But I said, this is the year I think Clemson beats him. You said, no, it's never going to happen in my lifetime. So I called it. Look, Roy Williams wants to quit right now. Wants to be fired right now.
On this show, unlike some people on this show, I don't have a problem admitting when I'm wrong. I never thought Clemson would win there. They were 0-59. Never thought they'd win there. They went up there and got the job done. Congratulations to Coach Brad Brownell. The crazy thing is that I had a guy on my show that is on the Tar Heel beat, and he told me that what's going to be funny is that Brad Brownell breaks the streak but probably gets fired at the end of the season. That's the definition of irony in some respects. Mike, you turned your microphone off. I didn't mute you this time. You muted yourself. So what were you saying? Go ahead, buddy.
As I said before, if you didn't win this year up there, you probably never will win up there. This is a bad Tar Heel team for them. I mean, the funny thing is, though, if you pick this Tar Heel team in, like, say, Gamecock history, it's probably like our 10th best team. But for the Tar Heels, it's like one of the worst all-time teams, and you beat them. Everyone thought I was mad. First of all, I can't stand Tar Heel basketball. Tar Heel football, it's not the same. But Tar Heel basketball, it's almost when you play them in basketball, I kind of want you to beat them, to be honest with you, because not in football, but in basketball, I can't stand their coach. I call him, Dabo Senior. I can't stand their fans. I can't stand their whole hypocrisy, their nose in the air. everything. And so I love seeing Roy Williams struggle. I love seeing Roy Williams with a team that doesn't have that much talent, and he actually has to coach basketball now, which he can't do. He's not a good coach. Newsflash. Look at his Kansas teams he had. He had Paul Pierce and Jock Vaughn and couldn't do crap. A Syracuse team that had no business beating him back in the Carmelo Anthony days took them out in the March Madness. He can't coach. He's not a good coach.
All right.
He has tons of talent. So it's good to see.
We understand.
Good to see him struggling. What's that?
You hate them. We get that you hate them. It's okay. Cale, do you have a comment on that game?
Why Roy Williams said just like last week that this is the least talented team he's ever had at North Carolina, or the worst team he's ever had at North Carolina. Why did it just now come out? Why didn't he say that before the season started? He only said that after they fucking started losing.
Gatorade Zero.
What the fuck? How the fuck are you up by 10 points with 2 minutes to go in your own fucking gym, and you fucking let Clemson come back and beat you? That's pathetic. They suck dick. They suck ass.
Yeah.
They lost to fucking Pittsburgh.
Lost to
Wofford.
Yeah.
They lost to Georgia Tech.
Clemson.
Georgia Tech's on probation. They lost to them too.
So are we, man. Hell, they might as well lose to us too. Shit.
We'd beat their ass. We would beat their ass.
Oh, never mind. We're on probation in football.
30.
You are on probation in football.
You're on probation.
By the way, the Seattle Seahawks just lost to America's team, the Green Bay Packers. Yep.
That's because the referees screwed them.
I love my Green Bay Packers.
That's right. Shut up. Enjoy the music.
That's not America's team.
Too bad Debo will take care of next week. Not being Debo.
Detroit and Tampa Bay. They'll come on as likers.
Yep.
We take our opposition and crunch them like they're
The Green Bay Packers. Moving on. By the way, Jadeveon Clowney's a punk bitch when they actually make calls on him. He's not worth a damn. He had 4 plays go against him tonight.
Don't get mad.
The rest,
He's
being honest,
your record holder.
He's going home.
Stadium's record holder.
He's going home.
He's your record holder. Leave him alone.
Record holder for what? Oh, here. He's not the record holder with
Most
this.
sacks in the game in Death Valley history. He's your record holder.
Clowney.
When he gets the calls on him, he sucks an asshole. Spurrier called him a lazy.
This is the kind of language you should ban from Facebook right here. This is the kind of language you should ban from Facebook.
That's what happens. By the way, speaking of Deebo Samuel, you know who had more touchdown receptions in the regular season than Deebo Samuel? You know who had more than that?
Who?
Yeah, just think about it for a minute there, comrade, because I know you hate him.
Who?
Hunter Renfrow did. Regular season, more touchdown passes.
Where's Hunter right now? Is he playing?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah, he did had a better season than
Making
Deebo
sure.
Samuel. Simple
Do the
as-
Raiders wish they drafted Debo or Hunter Renfrow?
They want Hunter Renfrow because they
They
want
would?
high
Okay,
character
well,
guys. They don't
The
want
Niners drafted him. Suddenly, Niners are the best team in football. Amazing.
the
Last
Niners.
year,
You know why
last
the
year they
Niners-
weren't. They draft them.
Niners
Suddenly
have
now,
funny thing.
home field advantage for the playoffs, favorites.
Yeah, Trey has a very good point here. Let's see here. Yeah, Clown.
A friend of mine.
Flags and tackles.
Friend of mine on Facebook, Tater friend Paul Cobb. You may know he's not in one of our groups. He's
a dumbass.
He had a picture of himself the other day with Hunter Renfrow. We ran into him somewhere in Anderson or somewhere. Guess why? Because Paul is at home, and guess where Hunter is? He's fucking at home. Ha! See how that works?
Dorian O'Daniel, he's not at home.
They met each other. But we're at home together.
Rashad Fenton, he's at home. He got stuff with Deshaun Watson sack today. Because that's how it feels. He actually texted Clowney afterwards.
Unlike Jadeveon Clowney, who had more flags than tackles, Deshaun Watson threw for 400 yards today. So
what do you do in the second half, Deshaun?
He threw for 400 yards.
What are you doing? He threw for 240 in the first half,
Look,
I believe.
We don't have to look. Jadeveon Clowney is an absolute
quite get it
failure
done.
as a pro. That's why Houston let him go.
They traded him.
Let him go. They're like,
Traded him because UCLA wanted
this
him.
guy is a fucking cancer. They got rid of him.
He's
No
not a
work
cancer.
ethic, lazy, can barely string together sentences. That is what you got.
I miss Sammy Watkins. Maybe Sammy Watkins will throw a pass in the
Sammy Watkins
AFC title game.
next week
Think
too.
they'll have him throw a pass?
He's
Maybe
not
Chad-
allowed to anymore.
Maybe Chad Morris will call a play that Sammy will throw a pass.
That's funny.
He's not allowed to throw a fucking pass anymore.
Anyway,
He
he's not
can't.
allowed to throw a pass. By the way, let's thank our sponsors for the show, Callaway's Bar and Grill. I'll be out there tomorrow night for the Clemson watch party. I'll have all kinds of good stuff set up for that as we watch the national championship game, where everybody in the building will be cheering for the Tigers. That's what's going to happen tomorrow night. They have the best food and, of course, the best beer at Callaway. Anyway, Kayla, you okay?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes.
What? Mike has a pussy behind his head. What's up with that, Mike?
Well, that's
Yeah.
Cocky Boy. What's up, Cocky Boy?
Anyway,
What's up, Cocky Boy?
yeah, they have the best beer and stuff at Callaway's. Go by and check them out. Come by and watch the national championship game tomorrow night. I'll be there. It's going to be a good time. Callaway'sBarandGrill.com. Also, DNC Trucking and Transport, the No Spin Zone segment with the Comrade. Comrade, read away.
It sucks to be a Gamecock. Clemson is my national champion. They will win the national title tomorrow night. Gamecock fans have no clue what that is. We never will. It is shameful to be a Gamecock. Go Tigers.
That's all facts. All facts from the Comrade as you settle for mediocrity at South Carolina.
How's that script going to start off with on Wednesday night? It sucks to be a Gamecock. Clemson is last year's national champion.
That's right.
Hell.
And you write it. Hey, Lewis Bowen has a great quote here. Lewis Bowen says, "Oh, so passing yards matter now." Good point, Lewis Bowen. Suddenly, passing yards matter.
Yep, he did. He played well. Tell me about your Gamecock quarterback that's in the NFL. I'll wait. You don't have one. That's because you have a shit coach that doesn't value offense. So
Hayden Hurst was playing.
Oh,
the other day.
we put ours behind the microphone.
Debo Samuel.
put yours behind the microphone. Holy shit!
Yep.
Dale.
Touchdown, Carolina.
That's right.
That's your best. Is you're going to go with Todd Ellis.
Touchdown. Yeah.
Thank you for that, Kale. Do you want to do our CFP preview first, or do you want me to try to patch in the great Ed Orgeron here
Patch him in.
first? What do you want to do first?
Patch him in.
All right, so I want to welcome into the program this afternoon or this evening. Let me see if I can dial it up here as we go to our double secret probation line here. And we welcome in Coach
I thought
Ed.
you were about to say as we go to our double wide, and I was getting excited.
So, Coach Ed Orgeron, hey, man, thanks for joining us on the show.
Yeah, what a great experience we've had. What a great journey for this football team.
Oh, thank you for that, Coach. It's nice to see you guys are doing some good stuff there, man. I tell you what, we really are looking forward to this interview. We've been talking about it all week. I mean, it's been the talk of like, how are they getting this guy on their show?
Hold on a second. Hey, guys.
What the hell?
Hey, I'm having a press
Oh, apparently he's
conference,
busy.
okay? Thank you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, apparently he's busy, but hey, he does have some time for us. Kale, why don't you ask the coach, since he's here with us, what his favorite beer is? Because I know you like beer, right?
I do, sir. What's the favorite? What's your favorite adult beverage that you like to indulge in during your downtime?
Pabst Blue Ribbon.
That makes a lot of sense. Do you like Pabst Blue Ribbon, Kale?
I tasted it one time, and it tasted like juice that came from gym socks. But
Yeah. Thanks for that, Coach O. Coach O knows, but he still likes it. He really, really does. Comrade, do you have a question for the coach? Whatever you want, man. Have at it.
No question. Just a plea to Coach O. Please do the country a favor. Do the country a favor and beat Clemson tomorrow night, 85-3. just trash them. And when you trash them some more and just kick their ass. So I don't see any Clemson fans on Facebook on Tuesday morning. None.
Hallucination.
Yeah, the comrade's pretty silly. I mean, you know what, Coach O, how do you think he's going to feel when, I mean, I hate to say it, but your team's going to come up short tomorrow. How do you think the comrade's going to feel once this game is over?
Depression.
Yeah, he'll be depressed. I mean, he really is upset about this because his football team is really, really just not very bright. You know what I mean? Yeah, I feel bad for him. Coach, when you guys lose tomorrow night to Clemson, which everybody knows that, I mean, it's, you're just riding the coattails here of Joe Burrow. But in actuality, when you get to play Clemson and you have to play that defense and things just don't turn out well, what are you going to tell your team when the game's over?
We live a pie another day. We live a pie another day.
I think that'll work out. Kale, do you have another question there for Coach O?
Coach, you've got a really good record this year, and things been going your way for 14 games. But I mean, how do you plan on combating the best defensive coordinator in the college game, plus a head coach who seemingly has the Lord on his side in all the big games? What do you plan on doing to combat that, sir? And how are you going to pull out a victory?
That's a good question.
That's interesting.
As a follow-up, Coach, the first time you actually saw the Clemson defense on video and you realized that your quarterback was going to look like a punk bitch tomorrow night, how did you feel?
Defecation.
Did you really crap your pants? Come on, Coach O. I don't agree with all that. I really don't. So let me ask you this, Coach. Let's talk about the Gamecock football team for just a minute here. What do you have to be in your mind to be a good Gamecock fan?
Inebriation.
Yeah, they are generally drunk. You've heard about the stuff where, people are having sex in the stands and stuff like that, right?
Satan.
Yeah, I don't know if Satan has anything to do with it. That's not nice, Coach O. Coach O, what do the co-eds at South Carolina smell like? I mean, you've coached there at some point, right?
Onion.
That's not nice either. Coach O is not being very nice to us tonight, guys. I honestly,
I don't think this is Coach O. I'm going to call it right. I don't think it's him.
O, shut up. I set up the interview. You didn't.
I don't think it's him.
Really? You really don't think it's
I don't think it's him.
Coach O, let me ask you a quick question here. There's a lot of questions about Clemson's schedule, but your own team doesn't schedule 10 Power 5 teams. And that's something that Clemson does, but Clemson doesn't get a lot of credit for that. What do you think about the LSU schedule? Yeah, it is kind of silly. I mean, because let's be honest, you don't really schedule anybody out of conference, but that's what SEC teams do. Comrade, do you have another question for Coach O here?
Is it the first time you had a game plan against a quarterback who looks like a female? Is this the first time, Coach O?
Wait, repeat that? What?
Is this the first time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're waiting. Did you mute yourself again, Comrade? I think he muted himself again. Check yourself, Mike. Did you mute yourself? Yeah, Mike, seriously, is that your first question?
That was it.
Okay. Well, I don't know if Coach O has an answer for that. Maybe he does.
Yeah.
I don't know. Actually, this is a good question. What does the Gamecock football program in your eyes lack, Coach O? That's true. That's true. Coach O's on fire tonight. He really is. Coach O, we have a lot of listeners on the show that are single. Lots of single guys on the show. Do you have any idea how we can get some of these guys a date? Comrade, name some of the single guys on our show that maybe Coach O can help. What do you think could use a date that listens to our show?
Tyrone Quarles can use more than a date. He could use.
Yeah.
I mean, Tyrone needs something.
He needs something.
Great Tyrone. He needs a.
Tyrone does well. Yeah. Coach O, what do you think that is the best route for some of those guys to go?
The love connection.
That's true. That might help. But I tell you what, some of these guys on that are with us, they're kind of girly, man. Some of these guys that are like posting stuff about how they want to experience childbirth and stuff like that. What do you think of those guys?
Lesbian.
Oh, that's not nice either, Coach. All right. Well, Coach O, thanks so much for joining us on the program this evening. Comrade, do you have anything else for Coach O? Maybe you, Kale?
I don't, Coach. This is a great interview.
It's the best interview ever. I mean, it really is. Coach, I lead this show, right? I mean, what do you think about me in this show?
Great young man. So proud that we have him.
I know. I don't
Great
play
parents.
for you. Yeah, I have great parents, but I am a great.
When they'll let the coach go get his rest, so he'll be ready for tomorrow night.
That's right. Rest up.
There we go. Thanks for that, Coach O. Thanks for joining us here on the.
Every fucking advantage he can get, by God.
He needs all of it. He needs all of it.
Not that he needs it, but we're going to give it to him anyway.
Depression.
Thanks, Coach. All right, Coach O joining the program. Thanks a lot, guys. We appreciate that. I want to get into the national championship game. Since you guys, I'm assuming both of you guys are supporting LSU tomorrow night. That's where all Gamecock fans are, right?
Oh, yes.
Kale, what does LSU have to do to win?
I think just what they've been doing all year. They have their offense has been lights out. They just have to find a way to keep the ball rolling offensively. We got Clyde Edwards-Helaire is coming back from injury. He's got to play a major role. Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase have got to have a big night. They're going to be going up against some not so great individuals in the Clemson secondary, and kind of some mismatches there. If they put their safeties, Nolan Turner and Tanner Muse on these guys, LSU is going to have a field day. They just got to keep doing what they've been doing all year long, and they're going to take Clemson's lunch money tomorrow night, smack Dabo around, make him cry, and there will be no Coke bottles, no whipping nay-nay, no bullshit, no sitting down and praying with the team after a big victory. There'll just be a long fucking plane ride home, and the questions about what could have been all spring and summer long.
Comrade, what is your thoughts? What does LSU have to do to win?
I think the key will be the red zone. I think the team that does the best scoring touchdowns in the red zone, or the team does the best at not giving up touchdowns in the red zone, both ways, obviously, I think wins the game. I think Ohio State, Clemson, I think that was the difference in the game right there. If Ohio State punches a couple of those in for touchdowns, they win the game. Clemson did a great job down there on defense, limiting them, and that was the key to the game. I think it's the same thing. The one thing I would say, too, I think LSU, I think if you're Clemson, I don't think Clemson can come from behind in this game. I think
a damn thing that Comrade is saying.
I think
Hear him?
Can you hear me, Cal?
Yeah, check your stuff, Kale. I can hear him.
Yeah, so
I don't hear shit.
I don't think
Hear me.
I don't think they can come from behind. So if I'm Clemson, I'm going to take the ball first if I can. If the coin flip goes our way, and try to get up on LSU, and hopefully, early in the game, LSU made their first drive. They get a little bit nervous, and you go up to them on them like 14-0, and then maybe they panic, get out of their game plan because they're not used to being behind. So if I'm Clemson, I think that's the best way of doing so. I think if LSU gets up, like Ohio State did and so forth, I don't think that you're going to come from behind to beat them. So my big question is, I don't think Clemson can get to Burrow without blitzing. And if you blitz him, he can run. He can also find the open guy. So that's a big thing. LSU, I'm not sure they can stop Clemson on defense. So that's the other thing too. So it's going to come down to the red zone. Who gives up field goals, who gets up touchdowns. Of course, turnovers are big too. If you have a game where you have a team that turns the ball over, it could get ugly. Either way, I mean, Clemson can blow them out too. You watched the Bama game last year. you start having pick sixes and things like that, suddenly the game can spiral out of control quickly. So, but that's the big thing for me. Red zone touchdown percentage. The team with the best percentage wins the game tomorrow.
Well, I kind of agree on that front on that. My big thing is I think it comes down to for Clemson to win, I think what Clemson needs to do is they have to keep and make LSU one-dimensional, because that's kind of where everybody talks about Joe Burrows this and Joe Burrows that, and Joe Burrows is awesome. But in reality, I think it comes back down to it's if you make them one-dimensional, it makes them a lot more of a basic team. Auburn is a team that
LSU.
did stuff. What?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Auburn, when they played them, they were in the nickel a good bit, and they were able to manipulate some things like that. I don't know what Brent Venables is going to do. I do think that the best player on the defense is Isaiah Simmons, and if he's in kind of a hybrid type mode where he's going to go all over the field, look for LSU to play away from him. And see, people that think that there's this whole, the Clemson secondary is sucky. AJ Terrell is going to be like a second or third round draft. All right. If they try to go to Terrell's side, it's not going to work out well for him. This is a guy that's picked off Tua Tagovailoa. He knows what he's doing. Okay.
Those two are excellent, but your others, you have a large hole over there.
I agree with Tanner
Muse. Shit shows.
Tanner Muse is terrible.
Tanner Muse sucks.
He does. He does.
He hasn't done anything to elevate his game since last year when Deebo Samuel made him look like a bitch. He just hasn't played a receiver like Deebo Samuel all goddamn year.
Yep, he's got about a couple of
that really just has looks better just because of the fact that he's been untested, and then the other guy, Nolan Turner. He intercepted the pass from Justin Fields on the last play of the playoff game, but damn, he threw it right to him. How could he not? How can you drop it? Yeah.
Well, and that's fair, but the other thing it comes down to as well, and Mike kind of said this too, I don't think that the LSU defense will stop the Clemson offense. Because if you look throughout their season here, they gave up 37 to Ole Miss. They gave up 20 to Arkansas. This is post Chad Morris, the Arkansas team that didn't give a shit. They gave up 38 to Vanderbilt, 38 to Texas. I mean, this is not, your
all those games are really early in the year though.
Yeah,
well, no,
Texas and Vanderbilt were in the first month of the season, so
okay,
that's kind of you can't really
Ole Miss was
a lot from that.
16th. Ole Miss was November 16th, 37 points. Arkansas
that was still a long time ago.
Those games were all blowouts, so still.
You think they really played the A team against Arkansas? Come on.
They gave up 20 points. There's a matter of pride there. It's either pride or you don't have the capability to stop them.
You guys
really
scored.
I think they were probably resting some people when they played Arkansas, to be honest with you.
Here's the big thing I'm looking at right now is Clemson. I've noticed in the first half, their defense tends to struggle. I don't say struggle, but they're more vulnerable in the first half. It's almost like that Brent Venables' game plan going in doesn't always against good teams now, not against the Wake Forest of the world. When you actually play a team that matters, okay, which is like twice a year.
How long has that been?
So I'm trying,
fuck.
but in the big games against talent, okay.
No.
The talent tends to have no problem moving the ball against you. And in the second half, Venables is great at making adjustments and shutting them down in the second half. My question is, if that happens in his first half and LSU does not settle for field goals, I think they can go up big enough where the second half adjustments won't matter and the lead will be too big. That's the one thing, if I'm a Clemson fan, which if I was, I'd shoot myself in the head, I'd be worried about, is that will LSU get up too big in the first half before those adjustments will make a difference in the second half?
Talking about field goals today, when I was doing my research for this game for the Carolina Jackpot videos, their field goal kicker is 4 for 5 this year from 50 yards plus. He has a better percentage of hitting it from 50 yards plus than he does from hitting it from 40 to 49 yards. That's incredible.
Mm-hmm. Well, and listen, a 50-yard field goal is not a bad thing. The bad thing is the 31-yard field goal. You know, the 28-yard field goal.
Yeah.
But those feel like you lost, right? A 52-yard field goal means we didn't really move the ball that well in that drive, but got 3 points.
It means we were on the fringe of the red zone and still came away with 3 points.
Yeah, and a 28-yard field goal means, man, we should have punched that in.
It means
for six.
we were deep inside the red zone and couldn't convert.
So I mean, so that's the 50th. So that's a good thing to have. But if you're kicking 28-yard field goals, that usually does not mean that usually is a bad sign. Ask Ohio State.
Something I wanted to bring up is that I know that you two are completely on the LSU bandwagon. It's really funny, though, all the Gamecock fans, it's just like you have just this great hope, and you're not willing to look at this from a logical perspective. Clemson has 10 wins over SEC opponents since the start of the 2016 season. Ole Miss, Vanderbilt, and Arkansas, they don't have that. So
here, first of all, the LSU bandwagon stuff. Listen. Let's be clear about something right now.
No.
Listen to me. It's not LSU bandwagon. It's whoever you play bandwagon. Okay, we want you to lose. And hey, by the way, news flash to you: if we were playing tomorrow night, guess what? Who you'd be rooting for? The team we were playing. Okay,
but I'm not going to put on an LSU hat.
Okay, who's put an LSU hat? Who is? Who's put an LSU hat?
An LSU stuff all week.
So I mean,
profile picture.
Listen. Go back. I remember distinctly now. We were going for our third straight in baseball against Arizona. All the Arizona fans that were out for Clemson fans that all come on. Okay, so that's what happens. Okay, and the Mark Ryans of the world, who Matt Tomlinson I think is having his baby. Okay, goes. I don't understand why a rival would talk trash to their rival
to lose. But
Jesus Christ, that guy's an idiot.
He is an idiot. But the point is
that, of course,
fucking moron.
Well, the best part is though, Mark Ryan's a Florida fan. He's a Florida alum, and so he said that, and somebody, was not me, unearthed some tweets from 2014 when FSU was playing Auburn, the title game, and he was talking smack about FSU when Florida was 7-5 that year, or they were 7-6 that year. So his whole realm, the Gamecocks have no right to talk anything. Because,
that was the year they won. That was the year they won the Birmingham Bowl.
Yeah,
and the running back shit his pants on the touchdown. You remember that? That was after Muschamp got fired, so you can't blame him for that shit.
That wasn't Muschamp. Muschamp wouldn't allow that.
Look,
Muschamp don't allow that shit.
It's just the irrational portion of the fan base that thinks that Clemson has no chance tomorrow night. And you know what?
I don't think that.
That's the portion of the fan base that I hope Clemson wins by 30. Because then you point blank laugh at them and be like, "See, you don't know shit about football."
That's their hope taking over. It's not really what they're saying. Because listen, I'll be honest with you. If you put a gun to my head and say, who do I think is going to win tomorrow? I'm probably thinking LSU. If you told me Clemson will win tomorrow 45-10, would that shock me? It wouldn't shock me because games can get out of hand quickly. Clemson's good enough to do that. If you told me LSU wins 45-10, that wouldn't shock me. If you told me that Clemson wins 48-44 on some bullshit comeback, I would say, yeah, that sounds about right because that's what they do because they have a horseshoe up their ass the last 5 years. So, I mean, so listen, to sit here and say, now I think that LSU will win tomorrow night for a couple reasons. But if they turn the ball over, if they go down to the red zone and kick 4 field goals, they're not going to win. So, I mean, you have to watch the game. I'm looking forward. Take my hatred of Clemson away, okay? I mean, it's an exciting game tomorrow. I mean, it's 2 of the dominant teams in college football. There are 3 this year. I think Ohio State and Clemson and LSU are the 3 best teams in college football, and there's a huge gap. And I think the 2 best ones are playing tomorrow night. and it's really interesting. The other interesting fact too, in the gambling front, which is really weird. Okay, all the money in the world is on LSU, which normally would scare me. Okay, but the difference is though the sharp people. Okay, for those who don't know, the sharps are the people who gamble for a living, not Johnny Blowjob who just puts $25 down in the game, through his local bookie. I'm talking about the guys who gamble.
The Ben Simmons of the world.
Yeah, the guys who they actually pay their bills by gambling. Okay, and all their money is in LSU. Usually, what happens is the public money is on one side and the sharp money is on the other side. And what you do is you take the sharp money bet and you win most of the time. Well, not even the sharps are betting on Clemson, so it's really strange how that is. I'm not sure how I feel about that. All the money in the world was on Clemson equal to Ohio State, though. So Vegas needed Ohio State, and Clemson screwed Vegas there. And if Clemson loses tomorrow night, it doesn't cover, they will screw Vegas as well. So Dabo could be in a 6-foot hole if he doesn't cover tomorrow night. Vegas may come get him.
Kale, what were you going to say before the comrade?
Just a comment out to Facebook Live. Glenn Powell says Coots will never play for a national championship in football. You know what? That's fair. That's fucking fair and everything else. But you know what? When I was sitting in my apartment over in Bowling Springs, South Carolina, right there around New Year's. Or New Year's Eve in 2012, and I was watching your team get mouth pumped by Dana Holgerson and Tavon Austin. I wasn't sitting there saying, "God damn, you know what? I bet you this team right here is going to be fucking playing for a national championship in 2 or 3 years." I can just see that happening.
But that was night though.
You don't know that. Shut up,
Cal. That was a night that turned it all around. That was the biggest night in Clemson history.
I thought it was when they beat LSU.
It depends.
Dabo said it was a national championship team.
It depends. That night though, people say that was it.
Too.
They go looking back and now I'm glad that night happened, man. I mean, that night was great.
Yeah, it's just like everybody wants to discredit our loss to Connecticut in the Pizza Bowl as a catalyst for the 2010 SEC East Championship.
We've got all kinds of losses to point to this past year, Cal, that we can say was a turning point when we turn this around. We can go back to this year and go, hey, you know what? Hey, that loss to you, that was it. That was the loss that did it. That loss brought in like Bobo.
No, it's a loss to Tennessee.
That loss to you. We can pick all kinds. Although the loss to App State was what did it.
The 5 straight.
So we have so much ammunition.
I know.
It's not even funny.
Yeah, that was a loss that did it right there. It's a good loss. I look back at it. I mean, I got a framed picture of the loss now. You would think these people got a framed thing of the scoreboard of the rest of the game. I love that scoreboard now. I love it because now that was it.
All right, give me a prediction for you, Kale, for the game tomorrow night. I
think that LSU wins tomorrow night 45-38. I think we have a really, really good game, and I think that it comes down the wire. I think Clemson's going to put up a lot of yards, put up a lot of points. I think they're going to come up just short.
Comrade, your prediction.
I'm going to say LSU. I should pick Clemson just to help. Listen. I'm trying to unbiased here. I'm not being. I just think. I just don't see how Clemson can get to Burrow without blitzing them. And I think they blitz them. There's more problems. I think LSU takes a big lead on Clemson. I think they come back and make it close, but can't quite get over the hump. I'm going to say LSU 41, Clemson 37.
All right. Well, my prediction, I think it's going to be – I think the defenses will come out more. And I look for Clemson to win 27-20. I think that both defenses will come out and kind of impose their will a little bit. And I think it'll be like a 10-7 score at the half, and everybody will be running their shit mouths and everything. And then Clemson will come out. Trevor Lawrence will get moving. I think Clemson wins.
It's going to be interesting to see what Michael Divinity Jr. can do for LSU tomorrow night. He hadn't played in 6 or 7 games. And so he gets to play tomorrow night.
I wonder if he's going to have some ring rust. There's a wrestling reference there, Kale.
Probably so. I mean, everybody else has been off for a couple of weeks. It's been off for a couple of months.
Yep.
And I want to see what Grant Delpit does. He hasn't really made a lot of noise this year. He was on everybody's All-America list in the preseason, and you hadn't seen a lot from old Grant. So you've seen more from Derek Stingley Jr., who's the true freshman. He's just looked fucking awesome. So I want to see Grant Delpit make some plays tomorrow night.
All right, a couple more things before we get out of here. I want to talk about the Gamecock basketball team coming up just short at Tennessee, losing 56-55. Gentlemen, explain your basketball team, and we'll let Kale go first. Kale, what do you think about the hoops team?
To be honest with you, I just followed that score. I was at work yesterday, so I did see that we were ahead by like 2 at halftime and ended up losing by 1. So I don't know how that broke down.
Comrade, what did you think of the game?
But
yeah,
he watched it. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I can't get over. I start. First of all, I was genuinely excited about this basketball season, about this team. And when your best player, who is A.J. Lawson, plays like crap over and over again, and plays like he's not interested, plays like he doesn't want to play defense, you're not going to do well. And we don't do well. I mean, he's supposed to be our best player. I can understand with a bad game here and there, but good Lord, when's his last good game? His last good game was against Virginia. We won the game. Shocking. He doesn't play well. Bolden, is off and on. And listen, I don't understand, and I hate doing this, man, because I'm not at practice, but I don't get why Trey Hannibal's not playing more. And everyone says this is the Gamecock fans. And I get that maybe he sucks at practice. I get that, and you're trying to build a culture and a team, all this stuff, and you're trying to teach lessons. But for crying out loud, man, you need to win some basketball games. And you can't convince me that TJ Moss and Bolden out there and Lawson playing point guard is not better than Hannibal coming in and playing. He made mistakes. He might not play great defense because he's young. But I'll tell you one thing: he won't play bad defense because he's not out there busting his ass. He may make mistakes because he's in the wrong spot or doesn't get over on screens, but he's out there trying to play his ass off every time. Unlike some of these guys who aren't doing that. I don't know why he's not playing the whole game. Put him out there and go with him. Go with Kuzma out there. Guys look, they want to play and do it that way. But I'm disgusted. Like I haven't been this pissed about a Gamecock sporting team, athletic team in a long time. And it's a mess. I mean, can we still turn it around? Mathematically, yeah. But I mean, AJ Lawson has to wake up. I'm not sure he's going to wake up. And he's 50th right now. In the draft projections, he's 50th, which, by the way, I would not leave for that. And secondly, who the hell is watching him? Put him at 50th. He doesn't play defense. Okay? He plays no defense. Doesn't want to play defense. Good luck in the NBA. I mean, I'm not sure when NBA GM sees that and goes, "Oh yeah, that's my guy."
He's going to suck a dick versus Detroit on Tuesday night.
Let me draft him. Exactly.
Didn't they draw a charge on him or something to end the game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, we played horrible, and Tennessee played horrible, and we still had a chance to win. But I'm telling you, you can't. It's hard to win when your best player just is a non-factor. Like the guy who's supposed to be your best player, he's not our best player right now. Our best player is Kotsar, and that's a problem, by the way. Okay, I love Mike Kotsar, but if he's your best player, if you'd have told me that this year coming in, your best player would be Mike Kotsar, and I'd say, "Oh yeah, we're not making the tournament this year."
Well, real quick,
it's another victory in athletics over Carolina for the goddamn butt chuggers.
All right, give me
up on the damn mountain.
Kale,
that made me say, I'm on YouTube on the channel today. A Vol fan commented on the national championship prediction video. Some Vol fan, I don't know what his name. I can't remember. But he says that I look forward to South Carolina getting better and making the Tennessee South Carolina football game competitive again. And I said, okay, pump the brakes. I said, you lost the last 3. You've won 1 in a fucking row. Congratulations. But, we don't have a problem making it competitive. He said, yeah, you did. You won the last 3, but it was only by a field goal or so each time. And I said, okay, well, you're talking about making the game more fucking competitive. How much more fucking competitive can you get than a field goal margin?
I have one thing, and then I want to get into Kale's thing that he texted me about. It's really funny that the comrade is frustrated with this team and frustrated with Gamecock hoops, but is not frustrated with Will Muschamp.
Who said we're frustrated with that?
That's the mentality that you have.
There's a difference, okay?
There's not a difference.
There is a difference.
Not a difference.
There's not a difference. The Gamecock football team, what was their over and under shooter for wins in Vegas?
6.
6. Fucking 6.
Okay. And what'd you get?
And the Gamecock basketball team was supposed to be a tournament
Not
team.
6.
They got 4. Yeah.
6.
Oh, yeah. And was I pissed? Yeah.
No, you did not come on this
program
one time and say you were
Okay,
pissed.
I was happy.
Oh, God.
Okay, no, don't put shit in my mouth. That's what you always do. Don't put shit in my mouth and act like, the brother, he is happy with 4-8.
You're happy. You're completely happy with 4-8. You're completely happy with 4-8. The Gamecock basketball team can suck a little.
The Gamecock basketball team. The Gamecock basketball team, okay, is supposedly the deepest, most talented team that Frank Martin's ever had. Not that Florida, not the Kansas State.
Okay.
According to Frank Martin,
Sure.
the deepest and most talented team he's ever had. That counts Kansas State as well.
Okay.
Okay, that counts Final Four team as well. The team that would have won a national title if Thornwell didn't have the flu. That team.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Okay, would it be Gonzaga? That team. So, the fact that my expectation was, well, we should make the tournament, should be a given, make the tournament, and that we probably are not now. Okay, that's a bigger gap than 6-6, 7-5.
All right. Well,
okay.
Slow down.
We're going to go to a shit bowl and we go to no bowl.
No. Will Muschamp said this was his best team at South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
What he
Which
said.
isn't saying a whole lot.
Your expectations were to go to the Gator Bowl. Okay.
Which is not a great bowl.
Mike, you went over and over and over about we're going to the Gator Bowl.
I know that. It's the Gator Bowl. So listen to me real quick. So my dream this year, my fucking dream for the Gamecock football team was the Gator Bowl. Now think about that.
That's
where my bar was. So if everything went right, we go to the Gator Bowl. Where Indiana went. Indiana went to the Gator Bowl this year. That was like my bar.
Your team.
My basketball, the basketball team. My expectation was tournament team, and we're going to be dangerous in the tournament. We're a Sweet 16 team.
Tournament, Mike. 68 teams make the tournament, Mike.
I went to the Gator Bowl.
Rob, first, let me give you some college basketball knowledge. Do the best 68 teams make it, Rob?
Doesn't matter. 68.
Okay. Do the best 68 teams make it, Rob?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Do they?
Do they? If this your first year following college basketball, you are a tater.
I know more about basketball.
Okay. I asked you a question. Do the best 68 teams make it? I don't know.
I'm sorry that I brought up the fact.
Do the best 68 teams make it in tournament?
Why are you more patient?
Do the best 68 teams? You're the college basketball expert.
Mike, it's a simple question. Why are you more patient?
I just explained why.
Than the basketball team.
I just explained why.
No, you didn't. You tried to lick your own nuts. That's what you did.
I went to the Gator Bowl.
Our basketball team was supposedly a Sweet 16 lock tournament team. That's why.
Kale, tell us about the Gator Bowl because the comrade's off.
I went to the Gator Bowl. I went to the Gator Bowl in 7th grade.
Mm-hmm.
When I did. I went to the Gator Bowl with my mom, and so what is it like the last day in December?
Yeah.
Have you ever had fucking swamp ass before?
Yes.
That's what I had. I had in South Carolina that day in 1987, what it's like probably 50-something degrees, a normal winter day. It was in the low 80s in Jacksonville, Florida, and I had sweat running down my butt crack and all over my butt cheeks for fucking 4 quarters. Watched us get our ass hammered, yeah, I had swamp ass, and then we went on a bus, trip to Jacksonville all the way there and all the fucking way back. And guess who we lost to, Rob?
I don't remember. I know you lost, though.
Indiana.
LSU.
LSU. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
they
had a wide receiver named Wendell Davis and
87.
a quarterback named Tommy Hodson.
Yeah, and that was back when the Gator Bowl was actually pretty big because you didn't have 400 bowl games. Actually, it was a big deal. The 87 Gamecock team, by analytical data they run, is the best team in Gamecock history.
They were good. They did not play well that day. They were 8-3, and that they had beaten Clemson, and then the week after they beat Clemson, they actually traveled to Miami and played the eventual national champions in the Orange Bowl, and they lost 20-16. Got in a big fight. And all that stuff, and vowed never to play them again. Which I guess that's been rescinded now. They're supposed to play. Well, we stomped their ass in the Duck Commander Bowl a few years ago. So it's already been.
Anyway, past the comrades' hypocrisy because
hypocrisy.
Gamecock football team gets forever.
I just explained it. Don't do this shit. I just explained it. It's like you act like I'm sitting there celebrating 4-8.
You are.
I'll pull up podcasts about me being pissed at the football team.
No, you're not pissed at the football.
Okay. Oh no, I'm not. Okay.
You've never come on the show and said what you said tonight. I have not been this frustrated with a Gamecock athletic team. Did you or did you not say that?
I have. I haven't. Okay. And I explained that.
You're more pissed at the basketball team right now than you are at the football team. That's all I'm saying. Hypocrisy.
Because it's year 8 of Frank Martin.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Fine.
It's fucking year 8.
Coach. He's a great coach, but that's cool.
I think he's a great coach, but I don't understand what's going on right now with this team. I've never really met a Frank. I don't understand the AJ Lawson's issue. I don't get it.
Well,
I don't get it.
I don't understand AJ Lawson's issues either, but you're right about one thing. When Mike Kotsar's your best player, you've got a problem, and that's not being disrespectful to Mike Kotsar.
Exactly. That's why I'm frustrated.
Please don't send me hate tweets at Rob Sounds Good.
That's why I'm frustrated.
Mike Kotsar, because I'm not. He reminds me of like one of those big Lithuanians that Frank Martin always gets. Petravis or whatever the hell his name is.
Fucking Detlef Shrimp.
Kale, I want to give you an opportunity. You said you wanted to talk about Gamecock fans accepting mediocrity. The comrade does in football. He's already mentioned that. But what are you talking about on that front?
Dumbass.
Well,
did we see this week? Mississippi State goes out and it's just out of fucking left field, out of nowhere, hires fucking Mike Leach to coach the damn football team. And you know, for like the past 5 years and the past 2 fucking coaching searches, the butt chuggers up in Tennessee have been like, oh, we're getting Mike Leach is coming to Knoxville. And John Gruden's coming to Knoxville. Huh. And all of a sudden, here it shows up at fucking Mississippi State. You know, and this team, 2 years, they held on to Joe Moorhead. 2 years. And he didn't have a shitty regular season. Well, he kind of did this year. But he was replacing quarterback. So he had a little bit of an excuse. But he still won 6 regular season games. They fired his ass because they knew the fucking football program wasn't going in the damn direction they wanted it to. And they go out and make a damn splash hire.
Well,
do I think they're going to win fucking national championships with Mike Leach? No, probably not. But it's got to be goddamn entertaining. And that just shows you right there. People telling me on Facebook and stuff, I would see, people say, South Carolina needs to go after Mike Leach. I'm like, well, he's not available. He ain't going nowhere. Well, I mean, this proves that he was listening to some people who wanted to talk turkey, and the administration down at old Cowbell University wanted to talk turkey, and he was listening, and there they go. So
here's the thing, though. Moorhead was fired because of what the instance that happened for the bowl game, the fact that he lost control of the team. There was a fight. The guy punched his quarterback. He was out. And secondly, the other reason why he was let go is because he's a Yankee down south. They didn't like him. There's a big article written in the Athletic about that. So
what?
I think
what the fuck is
why'd they hire him to begin with?
Well, because they wanted to go outside the box.
Sense.
When he got down there, it's like he just didn't fit into their culture.
I didn't think it made any sense when I hired him. I'm like,
let's put it this way: if the Mississippi State hired Will Muschamp 2 years ago, he'd hit the same records as Joe Moorhead. Okay, Will Muschamp still's working there. Okay,
But,
so also Mike Leach.
Mike Leach. What the
listen,
just said.
Mike Leach. He would. I mean, there's a big article about it. And if they wanted to fire him, they would have fired him, 2 months ago or a month ago. The bowl game and how the bowl game happened with the quarterback getting into the fight and getting hit by his own kid and the kid not getting suspended who hit him is why he got fired that day. So
I'll buy what you're saying about the incidents that are there, but the adage that he's a Yankee is bullshit.
There's a big article about it, Rob.
Where is Mike Leach from? Do you know?
What's that?
Mike Leach is from Stephenville, California.
Yeah.
People in Mississippi think that you have to have a passport to go to California.
There's a big article. On the Athletic, okay, about how he didn't fit in, with the culture down there. So they hired Mike Leach. They hired Mike Leach, and this is you can find there's a report about this too.
Sure.
They hired a firm, okay, before they hired Mike Leach to see which news story would get the most Twitter reaction, which name would get the most Twitter reaction, and guess who won? Mike Leach. Okay. We go look that up and find out, and they hired it. They hired him. I'm just break it down. They hired him because of Lane Kiffin going to Ole Miss. They wanted to combat that whole thing. Now, listen, I like Mike Leach a lot. Okay, I love it. I love his press conferences. I love his in the SEC. If people wanted the Gamecocks to hire him, I am glad he's not with the Gamecocks. And I'll tell you why. He would not win here like you'd want him to. And those press conferences he gives would get old real quick when you're going 6-6 and your defense can have 455 yards a quarter. Okay. And he kind of looks like, oh, well, he doesn't like to recruit. He's not a big recruiter. He doesn't get along with defensive coordinators. Okay. So I don't think he'll be successful there. It's fun. I'm glad of the hire. It makes the Egg Bowl more fun. It makes the SC Media Days more fun. Okay. It makes it kind of, that stuff. I'm glad he's not at my school.
Hey, I would like to see him sparring with Dabo. That would be funny.
That'd be funny, yeah. But I think too, he does not beat his rival. Washington kills him every year. He does not beat his rival at Texas Tech. Same thing. He's historically bad against his rival.
He would be like, well. How do we know West Virginia was the turning point? Let's turn the pages of time back. Why couldn't the Wofford game have been the turning point?
Mm-hmm.
Why couldn't the win at Duke have been the turning point?
That's a good point. But to think that he's not going to win there, I think he should be given the opportunity to do it and see what happens. In reality,
I bet you know what I bet you he won't do.
What?
I bet you won't lose to fucking Appalachian State.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think that's valid. And I agree with Cale. They went out and tried to get a grade higher, but let's be completely honest. If the administration in South Carolina cared about winning, they would have fired Will Muschamp.
Bet you won't lose to UNC.
Yep. They would have fired Will Muschamp. And they could have gotten the pick. Because let's be honest, and I'm going to say something good about the Gamecock football program right now. You motherfuckers show up regardless. You put $70,000 in the middle of that damn dump on Bluff Road. Your stadium, they've done a lot of stuff to try to make it better. Your football facility is nice. It's not an issue of money or fan base. It's an issue of you have a piss poor coach, and that's your problem. That's your problem. If they go and they went to Lane Kiffin and put him in there at South Carolina, he would win. Same thing with Leach, okay, and a list of other guys. If you would have went after the guy from Memphis that went to Florida State, any of these coaches would have been better. But you're stuck with what you got. And you know what? I'm glad Kale's joined us on the show here because you two are going to be fun during football season because the same thing will happen once again to Mike. Muschamp needs another 15 fucking years, Rob. That's what he needs.
Okay, once again, you're lying. Let's stop lying.
This is bullshit.
Let's stop lying.
I won't be the only one saying
Let's
it.
stop lying. You always lie. You got to stop the lying.
Lying about what? You
lie about everything. First, you went out and told people I said it must have these 8 years.
You said he needed an 8-year plan.
No, I did not say that.
Yes, you did.
No, I did not. You want to pull up the audio?
I've got the audio. It's on robincomrade.com. Go ahead.
You said I'm giving him 8 years. I never said that. I said that it took Dabo 8 years national title. Oh, you want Dabo to get 8 years then? Look what you said.
What you said. But I have the audio.
Actually, the audio I said was he needs 6 years. What the actual audio I said. Okay, I made the statement that Dabo took 8 years national title, and somehow you took that and spun it. Oh, Dabo, give him an 8-year plan. No, I said 6 years. You can judge him. Okay, so that's the actual truth of the matter because that's a full recruiting class. Okay.
Everybody on his team, with the exception of a couple, were his own players this year. How'd you finish?
What's that?
Nate, shut up.
Okay.
Everybody on the team.
You can do that too. Just don't lie. Don't lie.
Not lying. It's on the Robin Comrade page.
Okay.
Brandon says, "What will I do if Muschamp turns it around and goes 10-3 this season?"
I have a fucking heart attack.
Yeah. No, I'll think it's the Twilight Zone. That's what I think. I think it's
Brandon right there with the point was that Mike said he deserves 2 more years, and that makes 6. Correct, Brandon June. Thank you for listening to the show. And that's what I said all along. I said 6 years.
I'll post the sound clip, but it'll be up. It's up on robincomrade.com anyway.
Okay, that's fine. And you'll get the quote me saying it took Dabo 8 years national title.
Right.
Do we have 13? Do we have 13 regular season games now? Where's the 3 coming in?
I don't know. That's a good question there.
Shit.
Brandon Kuhn doesn't even know who we are.
Next year's schedule is no fucking easier than this one.
No.
I mean, we're trading out the game at or the home game against Alabama for a road trip to LSU. Thank you, schedule gods. You made it so much fucking easier. Yep. And then then you're switching out the non-con game with UNC for a game against East Carolina at home, which I'm telling you, that ain't going to be nothing. That's not going to be easy because they're improved. They're improved. They're going to be better next year. So.
Comrade, respond to Lewis. Can you respond to Lewis's comment here? It says, I'm judging him now. He sucks. Can you respond to that? Because there's a lot of Gamecock fans that think that. And I've said it for 2 years now. But because I put on
Of course you're going to say it, Rob.
Of course I'm going to say it. But I'm not saying it. Lewis is saying it. Okay. Respond to Lewis.
But don't act like, I've been saying it for 2 years. I've been saying it for 6 years. You also want Dabo fired. That's also what you said.
I did.
Okay. All right.
So
how about we don't value your coaching opinion on people?
How about we don't value anything you say because you're a hypocrite? But go ahead.
I'm not a hypocrite at all. You want Dabo fired.
Are you going to acknowledge Lewis's comment?
I know. Listen, and I've said 400 times that the people who want Will Muschamp fired, I understand. I'm not gonna sit there and debate them anymore because I see their point. I said that middle of the year last year when you said, "Oh, you were so happy with the football program," and when I sat here and said, "I totally get why they want him fired," I said that multiple shows. Okay, hence the Rob. Oh, the rookie was happy with 4-8. He just loves the Muschamp. Okay.
But
I've said that.
The basketball team sucked a little bit, and you're really angry with them.
I'm mad because my expectations were high for the basketball team. Very high for the basketball team.
Okay,
well, year 8 for Frank Martin. It is year 8 for Frank Martin. And we went to a Final Four a couple years ago, and you would think that we'd build off of that, okay, and become a perennial tournament team. I'm not asking them to go to the Final Four every year. I'm not asking them to the Final Four actually ever again, to be honest with you. But be in the tournament every year.
Sure.
Get in the Sweet 16 once in a while. That's. I mean, my expectations of basketball are not like really crazy. Okay, it's we went to the Final Four, great. Let's be a tournament team every year. Like I don't want to sit there, and be there in the bracket every year. Okay, or most years.
Fine.
And then make a run once in a while. Okay, and the fact that's my issue.
Go ahead, Kale.
My expectations of the basketball team were high after they won at Virginia. Not so much a week later when they lost at home to a Cologne from D-Land, Florida, the home of Larry Wayne Chipper Jones.
Makes a lot of sense. Comrade, you and I are friends. Would you agree on that? We're friends, right?
Okay. So.
Okay.
That's right.
Let me give you some friendly advice. Okay. Stop thinking that the football team is going to be good. That'll help
I
you.
always think that. I'm an optimist. I'm optimistic. In my life, my teams, I always think tomorrow will be better than today. Always.
You were so stupid.
I am. That's how I am.
I'm gonna pull for my fucking team. I'm gonna pull for my fucking Gamecocks next year. I mean, if Boom is going to be the coach, and I mean it is what it is. I mean, just if I don't like him, it doesn't really make a hill of shit. That's what we got. So hell, it's not going to stop me from supporting my damn team. Go fucking Gamecocks.
Well,
we're not getting the pirate now, obviously. So that ship has sailed figuratively and literally. So yeah, hey,
I always believe
hope he does well.
that the big day will come.
I hope he proves me wrong.
Austin Powell's the question. How do you feel about Frank shoving a player, Mike? I know you would bash Dabo big time. Okay, Rob, I rarely give you permission to use our text messages on the show, but what did I text you about that?
Are you really going to make me bring that up?
Yeah.
I'll read it verbatim here. I think now, since you're asking me,
just in a general sense, what I say to you?
Don't bitch at me if I'm completely off, but I think you said it's not a good look. Would you?
And what did you say? You didn't think it was that. Who thought it was a bigger deal, me or you?
No, I didn't think it was a bigger deal.
Yeah, so,
I thought that we have a society of pussies, and
okay,
he's telling him to get in the
my point is to also want to say is that I texted Rob and did not like how it looked, and Rob was kind of okay with it. Okay, so just get awesome.
I wasn't just okay with it.
I mean, no. And I'm not saying. Listen, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying there's an off sense of belief that because Frank Martin did it, I'm fine with it. If Dabo did it, I would bash him. That whole thing. So no, I don't like that as a look. Okay. Well, what bothered me about it is that he did it. He was angry when he did it. Okay. And I know it doesn't make a difference. He has a shove, but it's like he was angry and he kind of lost control for a second.
Right.
If he shoved him and was calm and just kind of shoved together the thing, I wouldn't have. It would have looked a little better, but he looked like he was losing his shit on the sidelines, and then pushed a kid, and he shoved him. I don't like that, and I worry that he's going to lose it, really bad, and do something like that. And listen, all his kids love him. His past kids love him. But I do think it's a problem. I think listen, Frank Martin complains about his reputation. That his reputation is not warranted. He's a psycho on the sideline, and somehow that makes him a bad dude. Okay? And he says that hurts him because when people recruit against him, I'm putting words in his mouth now, but he basically says people recruit against him, they say, you want to play for a guy like that? When really, he's not like that all the time. Like you see that, but in practice, he's not like that. With the kids, he's not like that. And players have defended him. Thornwell has said that. That's not how all this stuff. The problem is this, though, to Frank. I'm going to give you some advice. The TV camera does not lie. If you don't want that stereotype of you out there, okay, then you have to find a way to not act that way in the sideline because they're going to use that. If that's your problem with not being able to recruit some kids, that some kids don't want to talk to you because the other coaches are saying, hey, that's how he is, then you got to change, man. You got to figure out. Well, I have to find a way to be more like how Coach K is. And I mean by that is Coach K does not do that in the sidelines. However, in practice, he rips your nuts off. Okay, Coach K is 10 times worse in practice than probably Frank Martin is. But Coach K has learned that on the sidelines, he's calm and collected and the whole deal. You know,
All right,
so that's my advice to Frank Martin.
Well, anyway, we got to wrap up the show. Kale,
Dabo wouldn't have shoved that kid. Dabo wouldn't have shoved that kid anyway. He doesn't punt or kick field goals. So
no, yeah, sure. Only punters
if you don't do that, you're pretty good with him.
Tell us about the animal that was just in your screenshot there, Kale.
It was a kitten.
You have a kitten now?
Yeah, her name is Teddy.
You named your kitten Teddy.
I didn't name it that. My stepdaughter named it Teddy.
That's Ted Williams.
She's like 3 months old. She's been here about a month, and she's about tripled in size.
Does she get along with Marley?
Yeah, she does. She likes to swat at her tail. She'll get on top of the table and look down at Marley and just bat her paw at her, swat at Marley.
Well, I'm going to send you a laser pointer. It's the best thing ever to have for a cat. You'll have fun for hours with a laser pointer.
Okay.
But anyway, gentlemen, first of all, thanks for doing the show with me tonight. I'm looking forward to tomorrow night's game. Comrade, tell people where they can find you on Twitter, please.
At the Pesky Pole.
The Pesky Pole on Twitter. Kale, of course, you are of Carolina Jackpot fame, but where can people find you on Twitter as well?
You can actually find me as at Hall_Kale. That's with a C, or you just type Carolina Jackpot in there, and I should pop up because I don't think there's another one. And make sure you follow me on Carolina Jackpot channel on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe to the videos. We got some good stuff, and this actual live recording of this podcast will be available on there later on tonight as well.
People are starting to tune in over there on YouTube. We're getting some views, aren't we, Kale?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
it's growing. It'll take a while, but I think once we start doing this live, and if we can start streaming it over there, it'll really take off.
Yep, we gotta pay for the subscription for StreamYard, but that's $20 a month. Once we get that going, we'll go from there. All right, Comrade, Kale, appreciate you guys joining me this evening. And with that, gentlemen, this show is a wrap.
Bye, guys.
All right.